Hello everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Cape Rugby TV, where of course, as you know, every week we take a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Currently, the score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens is running, so big thanks to our partners on board with us, of which one of them is, of course, Score Energy Drinks. We're going to explain to you how you can win yourself a case of Score a little bit later during the course of the show. Decro Paints, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV, and Decro is, of course, giving away a 500 Rand voucher this week. And remember, Decro brings paint to life. And, of course, MCAM 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later during the course of the show. In studio with me back, Jerome Parvata. Jerome, nice to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. And well done to the teams last weekend playing. And it's big business this weekend.
Big business this weekend. This is what it actually comes down to. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at that. So of course now the Sevens rolls out into one venue. They've been playing at Goodwood and Kraaifontein. Before we look at the games, and folks, we've got a string of games for you this evening. We're going to look at all of the highlights of the games that were played at Goodwood. So you go, of course, last week we were at Kraaifontein, so it was the Goodwood teams this week that had that opportunity. Jerome, for the teams that have been playing at Kraaifontein, do you think that they now have got, call it a home ground advantage over the teams that played at Goodwood for the last 2 weeks?
Yes, I would say, because obviously they know the conditions, they know the wind, they know the field, so obviously they will have a little bit of an advantage, and they know. I think they know the conditions there.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, we're going to get straight into it. One of the teams that is, of course, through to the top 16, and we're going to get Jerome to talk to us a little bit about how it rolls out into the cup, the shield, the plate, and the bowl. Busy Bees was up against Hamlets. Both of these two teams have made it into the top 16. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, Busy Bees and Hamlets. Welcome back, everybody. Right, so Busy Bees and Hamlets. Jerome, draw. Hamlets and Bees, two good teams.
Yeah, you could see it was pretty even the way they were playing. But two good teams, and I must compliment Busy Bees. They've been been doing well last week, and they're playing really well, and they got a good spirit. So, and Hamlets also.
Well, the positive thing for them was, of course, that both sides now go through to the final. So this weekend's top 16. So Busy Bees, their first game this weekend will be up against Helderberg, and Hamlet's first game will be against Bella. So I suppose we get to that point now that we don't know how it's going to go for any of these teams.
No, it can go either way. I mean, the teams that going through there, obviously, that's why they're there on Saturday. And no one wants to lose on Saturday, because it's the more you win, the better your chances are playing in the cup finals and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you want to get that momentum going. Right, folks. Well, of course, Violets was up against Peninsula. Everybody was having so much fun on Saturday. Let's take a look at some of these highlights. Right, there we go, folks. Violets and Peninsula. It was then end result, Violets walking away 26-21. Jerome, we're still going to take a look at the second half as well after the break, so I'm sure you're going to want to comment on that. But, of course, we know that the result did go in favour of Violets. But your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, the first half, I mean, pretty even.
Yeah.
So you can see, I mean, both teams, like anybody on the day could have won that game. So that first half was pretty even.
Yeah, well, you know, I always like to ask you about what is your halftime chat. But of course, the one thing that we do know in sevens rugby, there's a very short halftime chat.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask you about that after the break. All right, folks, let's take an ad break. When we come back, we're going to go back to our Western Province score, Club Rugby Sevens. Back in a sec.